I'm Timothy Shuey, and my formal title is Sexton at Bindnagle Lutheran Church in Palmyra. The congregation actually was founded in 1754, and it started with a log church on the property. And in 1803, there was about 200 members that decided to put money in to build a new church. We are the mother church in the town of Palmyra. Right behind the church is a historical cemetery. In the historical cemetery, the founder of Palmyra, John Palm, is buried there. This land was donated by a fellow by the name of Hans Bindnagle. You can see our rope that hangs down. That's how we ring the bell on Sundays. We have a ladder there in the corner that is utilized to access the bell tower. Another feature we have is a reed organ that's pretty rare, but it was made in Palmyra by the Hemperly Organ Company. This one here is a pump organ. These two are the only ones left. So the church holds about 400 people. The outside's pretty unique. It actually has a foundation ledge in the brick. On the front of the church, the bricks are laid in a fashion that's like a Flemish cross. A Flemish cross is just a brick pattern where you have a full brick, and then on the center of the top and bottom you have an end brick, which looks like a cross. The walls are approximately 14 to 15 inches thick. It's a double layer of brick with, I'm assuming, an airspace in between. The bricks were made on site. The church cost about $2,400 to build, and we actually have a box of all the receipts of all the building materials that were used. Some of the unique things they bought were 90 pairs of shoes and 10 gallons of whiskey. I think the whiskey was used for medicinal purposes. I don't think it was for pleasure, but maybe. One of the original implements called a clinkle sack, and this clinkle sack is what they used in the original church to collect the offering. These are from the original church of 1803. They might have even been used in the log church. So what we have here is the communion altar. We do communion where we all gather around the communion rail and take our communion. The faux painting that you see on the walls was actually done 80 years after the church opened, and it was painted in 1883. The painter was from Sweden, came over on a ship, and people in the area found out that he was a painter, and he did this whole thing like a Swedish marble effect. He was paid $763 to paint his church. He was on the run. He got into some kind of altercation where he actually was protecting his girlfriend and ended up murdering the guy. Got on the ship and came to America. His next project after he completed this church, he fell off the scaffolding and died. There on the altar wall, there's 3 sayings. The first one is love God above all. The second one is pray and work. And the other one is love your neighbor, and they're in German. They stopped speaking German in this area the time of World War I. The wine glass pulpit that was intended to be able to see every face in the church. The crowned feature above it is called a sounding board, and that's like the amplification system that your voice ricocheted off that and was kind of pushed out into the building. Up until 1972, the church was heated with 2 wood stoves, which created a lot of soot. We got rid of the wood stoves in 1972 and got a modern boiler. So sitting here in this windowsill, you can see that the original paint has been being rubbed off over the years. As it gets rubbed off and changes, you can see that there's actually some historical graffiti on the window wells that was probably put on there prior to the man that painted it. So you'll notice on the altar wall we have a nice fancy woodwork, and one of our most recent projects over the past 2 summers was to restore the paint. What we did was just cleaned the woodwork and brought it back to life of the original colors. We had a professional cleaning service come out and clean it, and they were art restoration experts. The woodwork was covered in soot. As I said earlier, there was 2 wood stoves that heated the church, and over the 200 years of burning wood, it just got a lot of soot residue. It brought back all the blue and white and gold colors. Some of our church members went as far as cleaning the backs of the pews off also. So the glass in the windows is very delicate. Every time you paint the exterior and reglaze, you might break 1 or 2, and they get replaced over time, but it's about 1/16 of an inch thick. Very fragile. Proud to say we saved an original oil lamps. Kind of a nice feature, and that's what they used to use for lighting in the old days. So one other significant historical item in this church is the 3 doorknobs. At one time, the Historical Society took these doors and displayed them for 1 year in the Philadelphia Museum of Art. And this particular doorknob here is actually engraved by the manufacturer John Rohr in 1803. I first toured the church when I was in 7th grade, had a little history lesson, and I said, boy, I want to get married in that church, and then I ended up getting married in this church. We got married in the church in 1993. Of course, she fell in love with it the second she looked in the window. Just because of the beauty of it and the fact that it's in the same condition it was when it was built. I've been a member for 25 years, and we brought our daughter up through this church, and we just really love it.